G'day comrade subscribers, hope you're all well. So I've been working on my little Arduino sketch and I think I've got it pretty much doing everything I need it to do. Zoom out a little bit. So I've got my little keyboard still. So I've got the keyboard scanning working properly. Where is it? So I can't really tell from the keyboard, but this is the keyboard here. So we've got the normal characters, and then we've got an F key and a clear key. So I'm using the F key as a shift so that we can get these additional functions up here. So for example, the numbers, mathematical symbols, and kind of the calculator functions. Also these ones here, P1, P2. So I've got it all working, I think. So we've got debouncing, we've got the display working, we've got the keyboard working, we've got the shifted characters working. So we'll I think we can see that okay, can't we? So let's reset the Arduino. So unfortunately this panel here is not working. So you can see pretty much we've got the numbers 0 up to F, so there's 16 characters. And so I've now also got it to print out when you press a key. So that's a question mark, backspace, question marks, step, default I think, I'm not sure. That's the space key, Z, Y. Now you can press the F key, but if you hold the F key, then you get these additional functions, including the numbers and these P1, P2, P3. So it's working nicely, I think. So what's next? Well, I've got this thanks to PCBWay. So this is my Arduino cartridge. Essentially, stick a program in Arduino, stick it in here. You've got your crystal, couple of capacitors, reset. I think the resistor. I think to pull the reset high or something like that. And then I've got the additional kind of pins that were free. I realise now that I should have, because I've got space, I should be able to add like a little piezo transducer or something, so a little buzzer. So I might do that for revision B. And I'm not sure about programming because I'm pretty rusty with the Arduino. So I do have one that I can program and I can plug in. So if I can fit a socket on here, then we'll give that a go. I've also got, although I don't know where I've put it now. Oh, here we go. So a simple little converter board for the LK-3000 ROMs to make it look like a 2764 ROM so that we can dump them. Problem is you need also the code that's in the microprocessor itself, but there is a way of doing that, but I don't have the boards for that at the moment. So that's what we'll do today. I think I'll just basically transfer from my little development thing hopefully onto here, and then we can use that to actually plug into a real LK. Well, this is a real LK30, a built one that isn't in pieces. So that's the plan. There we go. There's the Arduino cartridge for the Nixdorf LK-3000. Yes, I should have added ICSP programming headers perhaps. So I've got the serial there, but yeah, I should have added them as well. But let's see, because you can't fit a socket on there. So anyway, so I've programmed this in my Uno with the test software, and I had 20 picofarad, not 22 picofarad for the oscillator. So hopefully 20 picofarads all right. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So we've got a decoupling capacitor there for the chip, pull up for the reset, and then because we're using the external oscillator, so it does have an internal oscillator that you can set, but anyway, and that's basically it. So obviously ideally it would be good to 3D print new case, but I'm just reusing an existing one. So it goes in like that, and I'm so happy that I managed to get, I actually pretty much, yeah, the pins pretty much line up. I'm pretty impressed by that. Right, and then that goes on top, and there we go. So now we've got a 21st century cartridge for the Nixdorf, and let's grab one. So I've got one here. So I haven't worked on it all, so it's still got the old NiCad batteries in that I need to get out because they're going to be leaking. But that's basically it. So it just goes in like that. Okay, so far so good. We'll stick the external power in. Okay, moment of truth. Hey, it works. All right. So let's zoom in. So we'll just do that again. So turn on Nixdorf LK-3000, and then we've got that. So all the characters are working. And okay, keyboard scanning's not working. So it could be that there's an issue with the keyboard connection. Oh, okay, no, that one works. Clear. So that the clear button, that's got a separate trace. So it's got its own trace that goes to ground. So when you press clear, it goes to ground. So that's working. Okay, but none of my other keys are working. Okay. But okay. At least there's new software running in the Nixdorf LK-3000 for the first time in 40 years. Doesn't do much. So I need to work on that, I think, also. See how it's... So what I'm doing there is I've got a clear display function that basically just writes space. Because I did have a look at the DL1440 data sheet. It didn't say anything about clearing existing characters. Well, it did say, I think if D5 and D6 are set the same, then it will clear. But that won't happen in this because D5 and D6 are always opposite. Well, D6 is always made opposite of D5 because of the hardware. So I can't really do that. So I'm just printing spaces. So what I do is I print spaces and then I print the clear text. But unfortunately, yeah, none of my other keyboard scanning seems to work. Okay, so I'm going to have to pull this apart anyway. But there we go. We've got something working. I'm pretty impressed by that. All right, I've got to go hang the washing up and I'll have a think about this. So I'm thinking there's two possibilities. Either I've got the keyboard interface, ask about face, so it's working here, but it's back to front in here. Or, let me open it up. So this is the one I was using. Or maybe the electrolytics is a bit dodgy perhaps. So anyway, I'll tidy it up, get rid of these old NiCads, pull this out, replace the electrolytics, and give it another go. So as you can see, it's not really designed to be pulled apart. You've got the melted plastic tabs, so I'm going to have to break them to get it out. So there's an electrolytic here, and there's one here near the power supply. Otherwise, I think there's just a couple of ceramics. So I could probably the keyboard, as you probably know from the first video or so, should come off. We've just got a metal clip here that we just need to slide off, and the membrane is looped back around and over the contacts. So I'll get that off. I'll just probably get a flathead or something. We'll use this perhaps, spudger, to gently lever it off. Or actually, do go down the edge here like that. That's a bit better. Like so. Almost got it out. There we go. So I'll have a look to make sure I've got it around the right way first. Of course, yeah, it also could be, does look like there's a bit of corrosion from the NiCad, so maybe worth giving that a bit of a clean. Okay, right, well, I'm not having much luck because of the NiCads. Basically, I got another, so I've given this a clean, and I've removed the NiCads. Obviously, I've replaced the capacitors there. I've given the membrane a clean there, and with my Arduino cartridge, plug that in. Oh, it's all dodgy now. Alright, so I tried another one. Unfortunately, when I opened this, when I pulled the cartridge out, it had some moisture on it, so there is some kind of damage in there, I would say, from the NiCads. Where was my cartridge? This is my Arduino cartridge. So I tried it in there. Let's power it on. Oh, okay. That's working. P4. So, alright, that was unexpected. Alright. So I haven't pulled this one apart either. So this one probably needs the batteries removed as well. And this one I haven't removed the batteries either, but I think it probably has some sort of issues. Okay, so that's, yeah, we're all okay. C, D, E, F, 8, 9, A, B. So those should be in that one. So the modules aren't being addressed properly. That's not because of me. That's because of this here. And you can see key presses are being registered, but the display's not working properly in this one. I don't think I've got any others. I've got the one that I've pulled apart for my development system, and then I've got another one that I pulled apart to reverse engineer how it all worked. So I do have another one. I did find another one on eBay that wasn't too expensive, so I've got that one on order. But unfortunately at the moment I'm a bit limited as to the testing. So this one looks like it's probably the best. Maybe I can get away with, was it this one? Oh, there we go. So it's registering keys even though I'm not pressing them. So I'll try this one as a last resort. See, that one I can feel from the weight that okay, that one needs the batteries removed. This one I have removed the batteries. The problem is because, like I said, it's all these melted plastic, so it's not. Yeah. Right, which one was I going to do? It was the beat up one, wasn't it? Yeah, this one here. Alright, I'll pull this one apart next and see if I can get something just to prove that yes, it does actually work. The Arduino cartridge does actually work. Yeah, so this is the problem. You can see the batteries are disgusting and they've leaked. So you can see here the display modules along the top. You can see this doesn't look too good. Maybe just reflowing the solder will be good. But the keyboard membrane here, you can see the clear and the I don't know what else this one is off the top of my head, but those are both broken. So yeah, it's not going to work, is it? So maybe the electrolytics are faulty as well. So the logic here isn't going to work properly. So this one's a bit of a write-off as well. So unfortunately I can't show you 100% definitive proof that my Arduino cartridge does work, but I'm confident it does because I've tried it on the development system, which is pretty much identical. I've confirmed the keyboard pinout is correct, the keyboard is correct compared to this. So that's not an issue. It's just the state of some of these things, unfortunately, because of the batteries. And it doesn't make it easy that, you know, you've got to you know, it's all these plastic, melted plastic to hold it in. So I do have, let's say I've gone through, I've tried 3 and they've all got various faults. Two of them I have, well, are working, but I've stripped one apart so I could make my development system, and I've stripped another one apart so I could reverse engineer it in the first place. So I do have one more coming, but I will also work on these, strip them all apart and see if I can cobble together a working one. But I'm confident this works, but I will make a revision B with ISP, in system programming headers on it, to make it easier to program once the PCB's been made, and probably a buzzer. I think I can fit those two. I'll be able to get those two for revision B working. Yeah, but hopefully that was of some interest. You know, it's a bit of a niche thing, something that, you know, shits and giggles, as they say. See what you can do with old hardware that was never meant to be used like that. So yeah, that's all for now. I do have, so will be dumping the ROMs with my little 27. Well, if this works, to convert them to 2764 format. So I will be adding those to the GitHub if I can get that working as well. But that's it all for today. Thanks for sticking around. Bye for now.